Hello and welcome to Pinto in Portugal. This is Vanessa Pinto, your host. Well, I have made it. I am in a house with blank walls in Espino, Portugal. And today, what we are going to talk about is when you take your cat to another country and how our first day flying in all worked out. It's going to be a minute. But first, let me introduce you to where I live. This is Espino. Yeah, I remember when I actually got out of the Bolt and saw this. Oh my God. So this apartment was a feat of strength. I found it the first day when I came to Portugal to look for apartments. And the guy who showed it to me was not a real estate agent. He was the friend of the lawyer who represented the clients who own this building. I think, like I said, my last name being Pinto, which is like Smith in the States, bought me a lot because they just kept saying, but you're Portuguese. And I'm like, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of it, yes, my ancestors came over here, but my father was born in Colombia. So people have been very nice, but I'm also incredibly humble here. There is no sense of entitlement to me here. There's no fucking American ego here. Absolutely not. I am a very, very different person here because I am in someone else's country and I need to respect that, unlike Americans. So we come, you have to get these certificates. If you bring a pet to Portugal, if you're doing the D7, but if you're bringing them, however, you have to take them, they have to get a microchip or you have to prove they have a microchip. They already have one. You have to get a rabies vaccine, and then you have to get a USDA certificate and a rabies certificate that says this cat or dog does not. So he does this. And mind you, we were supposed to be out of here on the 20th. That's when our original flight was booked. But on Friday, I think it was the 7th, everything falls apart. The vet's like, yeah, it got rejected. And then there was something else. Oh, my boxes stuck in customs, just stuck. And the thing about it is, it seems so overwhelming at the time. And then I was like, Vanessa, you chose to leave the country. Like, this is not ordinary things. Setting up utilities in this apartment from the States. Oh my God. It took about 2 weeks to get each one done. And it's not just setting it up because they have an English thing, but it's having someone come out. My landlady had to come out for the electricity. Thank God water was done on its own. But I mean, it was a process, not like anything you do in the States. So as we're literally getting into Lisbon, and I've got a cat that's been on a fucking plane for 11 hours in a carrier for 13. And he had figured out during the plane ride that if he did this enough, he could get the zipper. So literally, I'm in the middle of the air and I just see my cat and I'm like, fuck. Because one, very bad if we got caught. I just remember sliding onto the ground because they didn't put me with a neighbor. And I actually had to sit on the ground, get him back in. And they left me there for like an hour. I don't know how that was allowed until one of the stewardesses found me. She's like, get off the floor. And I'm like, okay. Oh no, that plane ride was rough. It was, oh my God, with the cat, oh my God. Thankfully, no one complained. And what I will say is the babies were a bigger fucking issue. The babies on that fucking plane, oh my God. So now we're in Lisbon. And I'm at this point, I think you can see one of my bruises. I literally looked like I was mugged and like thrown into the street. All I had was one giant bag, and you can see here, completely just my leg, all of it. So because with him, the carrier is just hitting and you're being moved and jostled, right? So it was like when I got to Lisbon, I almost couldn't hold him. I literally almost dropped him. I had to put him in a wheelchair in order to keep going. They did allow that, which I thought was nice. So now we take him to the vet. And I buzz the little thing, and this very nice veterinarian comes out, and he's like, "Did you let us know you were coming?" I'm like, "Yes." "Did we respond?" And I'm like, "No." "But you did." I said, "Yes, you responded once," and I responded, like, "Did we respond again?" "You did not." "Okay." So now I can let him out. Poor cat. He did get out. Took him a minute. All he wanted was water. He couldn't touch anything but water. And then he calmed down. You know, he realized, one, he was with me, and two, it was like, he was smart enough to understand, like, this is a process. Like, where the fuck are we? He's like, I was in California and now I'm in Lisbon. So then we get this certificate and he's inspected, right? And what they don't tell you is that you have to take him out of the bag again. Because I thought I only had to take him out of the bag once through SFO. No, no. Had to do it in Lisbon. Oh my God. 5 times is fucking crazy. And then the baggage dudes are just fucking assholes. I was not a fan of Lisbon. The airport. I can't say Lisbon. The airport. Guy's like, just let him go through. And I'm like, through the x-ray? And he's like, so I had to grab him and I'd taken his harness off. What I will say is I realized how much my cat trusts me when I could take him out. And he just clung to me and I got him through, put him right back in. He knew. It's like the one thing he did know is that escape was not going to help him. So now I look at my phone and it's my landlady. Hey, Vanessa, for some reason, like the power and water still aren't on. That's when like all sorts of I just start bawling in the airport, just fucking crying. Like, what have you done? You've just ruined your life. Now you have your cat with you to fucking deal with this. And he's going to have no water or power because this is the life you've chosen for yourself. And then so basically I'm on WhatsApp begging this woman, right? And she's like, well, it's not. And then I think she kind of realized like, oh wait, like so of course she figured it out. She sent someone here because the thing is it was done. That's what I couldn't understand. Someone just had to pop the breakers to get the electricity to turn on, and then there was a valve that had to be turned on for the water, and I knew that, but I didn't know what the fuck it is. So she figured it out, got it done, and she's like, okay, you're good, right? So now we've gotten to Porto, we've exited, we're finally in the cab, ready to go home, a little bit of traffic. Then we get here, and I have such a fucking issue with European doors. And so I had to bother the neighbor to show me how to get in. Second time I locked myself out. She's like, okay, now I'm going to show you. And I've never had to bother that woman again. I need to bring her flowers and like a thank you for being that stupid American. But it was like, all right, so now you get here. And I had ordered Amazon Spain. And everyone had told me, Amazon Spain is like hit or miss. But because of Spino, it's all numbers. There are no street names. Everything is a number. So it's very hard to get lost here. The logic is, I can't get lost here and I get lost everywhere. So there's no packages. There's supposed to be 2 beanbag chairs, an inflatable bed because I'm getting a bed custom made for my frame. So I just wanted something to sleep on. These are tile. Show you. These are tile, and I mean tile floors. So and I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, we don't have a bed. So this is what I had to do. I'm going to take you through here for a minute. Because this is when you realize that, like, you go back to the age. This is the house, by the way. It's super cute. It's just empty. And the camera's awful. But look at this. Yeah. So that was my makeshift bed that I slept in. I added 2 more chairs. That was the first night. The very first night. After a plane ride, Missy was sleeping on the puffy bag that I had used to carry all our stuff in. We were so tired, though. Like, I was so tired. But so happy, because that's the thing. The second I came back here, it was like life. All of a sudden I wasn't as tired. I mean, I was tired, but not like I was at the other airports. I felt alive here again. But also, the second I got here and realized we were shit out of luck, I was like, oh, fuck, you need to go to the store now. He had not eaten really. There was nothing. I had to figure out what the fuck to do. And there was no litter box. His litter box and his litter was supposed to be here. So that's also not here. And I'm like, this fucking cat. Because he hasn't been able, he had gone pee in the bag, but he's one of those animals that if there's not a box, he will force himself not to go. And I was like, what? So when I was here last time, the supermarket is the Pingo Doce, Pingo Doce, yeah. And it's like a Safeway. It's great. I love it. So I land, I get him in the house, and then I'm like, fuck, I have to go downstairs and get us supplies. So I just start going, and I realized within 4 blocks, there's a mattress store, there's a grocery store, there's a cat store, everything, just like San Francisco, Berkeley, everything was walkable, everything was right next door to me. There was also, because I live in like a little beach town, all the clothing shops are there because we had nothing. This I bought yesterday. I had on coveralls and a fucking extra top. He had a blankie that we have to now wash because it's covered in urine. But I mean, I had nothing. So I had to figure out how to get us some food. So I was able to do that because I remembered. I was like, oh, okay. So we came back. I got us like the bare minimum. I figured out how to get him some litter, not a box, but I at least got him litter and made a makeshift. And then he slept out here. He was so traumatized that night. But what was interesting is he has not meowed since we've been here. Only once, and that was when I was eating the snack that he loved. And then all of a sudden he had a voice. But so we slept on chairs, and I remember I would wake up kind of like throughout the night cold in a t-shirt, and I'd like pull it down over my knees. And I was just like, this is your first night. So I still can't order the bed because my tape measure isn't here. And no, I couldn't find one at the Pingo Doce, and I don't find a hardware store yet. Amazon Spain figured it out. I fucked up the address because I didn't know my exact apartment number. That's a problem because the one I thought it was doesn't exist. And so half of my delivery is somewhere in the ether, but it will get here because the other half that I did correct, like literally I'm walking in the door and I see this guy with a Vanessa Pinto, and I'm like, Vanessa Pinto, that's me. And he's like, what is this address here? And I'm like, it's my fault. I'm very sorry. So this man helps me inside, puts in, it was my microwave, which thank God we hadn't had, and we desperately needed one. And it was his kitty litter. So he like takes the packages, gets me in the elevator. In the States, I had to call FedEx. I had a staircase, 15 steps. They used to leave like 500-pound packages because I'd order furniture at the bottom of the fucking steps. This guy walked me onto the airport, made sure I didn't touch a bag, made sure he said thank you. And I was just like, where have you been all my life, Portugal? Fucking people have manners here. So then I was like, Missy, we have a microwave. So yesterday, because I remember when I looked up, it was suddenly 9:30. I went to, because first I had to go to the mattress store, then I had to go to the pet store, then I had to go to the grocery store, then I had to go to Vodafone to figure out my hotspot and my phone. So I now have a Portuguese phone number. Tomorrow I have to open a bank account. But what I will say is I've been able to communicate exceptionally well. I haven't had any issues. Most people do know English. That's not the point. I'm going to be taking my class. And I do tell them, since I live here now, I'm like, it will get better. I'm like, it'll take about a month or so before I can really start responding. And I said, but I'm trying. So, and they appreciate that because, again, I'm in their country. I need to learn their language. I can say certain things, hola, bon dia, obrigada, which is thank you, or desculpe, excuse me, let's say, baño, the bathroom, sapato, shoe. No, me, Vanessa. Little things. I can say little things. And actually, what's interesting is I started to realize how much I could understand because it is like Spanish. And now that I just let my mind go, like there's nothing else and I'm just listening, I can pick up the gist of it. And I'm like, oh, this is what you're asking. Like, not the fine points, but I'm like, oh. So that's been really nice. But beyond that, it has just been even with all of its folly, right? I found a linen store, so then I got a topper and a new blankie. So we're sleeping on that till tomorrow because the tape measure comes, and it's been fine. Whatever. It's our European adventure. But it's looking good. So far, so good. So what I will say to you folks is if you're moving internationally, make sure to prepare yourself for the fact that you have control over nothing. And the United States is one of the only countries where you can fucking just throw a fit. And mind you, there was no reason to throw a fit. Like, it was what it was. But it's nice. It's like, one, what I've learned here is just to be incredibly humble and incredibly grateful to be here. So we finally get in, we arrive. So this is the funny part. When I had first come, when I landed in Portugal to look for an apartment, it was a holiday. And that's the joke, that it's always a holiday in Europe. So I was like, oh, it's a Portuguese holiday, right? So then I'd signed the lease. It's my last day, and Jose is dropping me off. And he's like, oh, okay, go. He's like, let's go get you a bank account, right? And then we go, and he's like, oh, it's a holiday. And I started laughing, and I'm like, so many holidays. And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's what we tell people, Portugal, come for the beaches, stay for the holidays. So I was dying laughing. And so we're here, and it's super hot, and I'm opening up the balconies. Missy's just acclimating and realizing, oh my God, she wasn't lying. We do have a new home. We're not homeless. She didn't gamble all the money away. And so I'm like just trying to drink water and take enough Flexeril to sleep on chairs. And then I just hear this music. So now I'm going to show you what awaited us after all of that when we got here. So this is the view from my balcony. I have this great park, and then you can see all the walking trails because everything's done systematically. but that is where I live. I mean, it's so beautiful. Just this lovely park that's right across the street. And so this is when I realized that all the noise I'd hear, they were actually doing a Gypsy Blues concert. So I got to hear that for free on our first night and realized that I live across from the party park from where they have festivals. I mean, could it get any better? And this is the view from my other balcony. But listen, this is what we came here to. I was like, oh my God, huge festival in the street, which normally they have their summer stuff, but this was different because I'm like, Jose, what holiday is it? And he's like, it's not a holiday. So this is how Portugal welcomed us. Portugal is just showing off now. So not only was there a festival concert happening, it's basically for free for me from my balcony, along with this lovely park that seems to have a lot of things going on. They are welcoming us here in Espino. I don't know why this fruit tree, excuse me, this flower tree I thought was so pretty when I was walking around being crazy yesterday. But anyhow, we are doing well. We are settling in, and Missy is, you should see this. He is relaxing. Where is he? He is relaxing like a champ. You can see him there. It's in the sunshine. There he is. But we are just chilling. Today we are going to sleep, and tomorrow we've got a lot of things to do just in terms of the bedding and hopefully just getting a little more organized. Anyhow, welcome to Pinto in Portugal. You're going to hear all sorts of other adventures of how I deal with living in a foreign country and all the mistakes that I make. All right, stay well, folks.